Hey there and welcome. Today we are diving into a piece of Korean grammar that is an absolute game changer, especially when you're talking about your plans or decisions. You know, when you want to say, I've decided to, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's jump right in. So think about it for a second. How do you say, I've decided to do something in Korean? It could be a plan to meet up with a friend, a new habit you're trying to start. Whatever it is, the grammar pattern we're going to cover today is absolutely key. Okay, so first things first. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the rules, let's just listen. I'm going to say a few sentences so you can get a real feel for how this pattern sounds in a natural conversation. Ready? Listen closely. Let's start slow. 내일부터 운동을 시작하기로 했어요. Now, at a more natural pace. 내일부터 운동을 시작하기로 했어요. And one more time just to hear it again. 내일부터 운동을 시작하기로 했어요. And that means I decided to start exercising from tomorrow. A classic resolution, am I right? Let's hear another one. All right, here's the next one. Slowly, 친구랑 주말에 영화를 보기로 했어요. Again, a bit more naturally, 친구랑 주말에 영화를 보기로 했어요. And a final time, 친구랑 주말에 영화를 보기로 했어요. And the translation is, I plan to watch a movie with my friend on the weekend. Oh, and pay attention to that little nuance. It can mean decided to or plan to. Pretty useful. Okay, next example. See if you can really hear that key grammar piece. Let's go slow. 올해에는 매일 일기를 쓰기로 했어요. And now at natural speed, 올해에는 매일 일기를 쓰기로 했어요. One last time. 올해에는 매일 일기를 쓰기로 했어요. This one means I decided to write a diary every day this year. Another fantastic goal to have. Let's keep the ball rolling. Slowly first. 다음 주부터 커피를 줄이기로 했어요. And now conversationally. 다음 주부터 커피를 줄이기로 했어요. And again. 다음 주부터 커피를 줄이기로 했어요. And that translates to, I decided to cut down on coffee starting next week. Oof, a tough one for many of us, for sure. All right, last example for this little section. Let's do it slowly. 이번 주말에는 가족과 함께 쉬기로 했어요. And one more time, naturally. 이번 주말에는 가족과 함께 쉬기로 했어요. And again, just to lock it in. 이번 주말에는 가족과 함께 쉬기로 했어요. This simply means I decided to rest with my family this weekend. A decision we could probably all use a little more of. Okay, so you've heard it in action a few times now. You probably have a pretty good idea of what it does, right? But let's make it official and look at the exact definition. So the most important thing to get here is that the decision is already locked in. It's a done deal. This isn't for something you might do, like, I'm thinking of exercising. No, this is for when you've already made the call. I have decided to exercise. It's a firm plan, maybe even a promise you've made to yourself. So, how do we make this ourselves? You might think it's going to be complicated, but I promise this is one of the friendliest, most straightforward grammar patterns out there. Let's look at the simple steps to build it. It's really just a simple 3-step process. You take any verb, you find its stem, that's just the part without the da at the end, you attach 기로하다, and then you just conjugate it into the past tense, which gives us our final form, 기로했어요. That's it. And this table here just shows how incredibly consistent this rule is. Take a verb like 공부하다, to study. The stem is 공부하, so it just becomes 공부하기로 했어요. Or how about 먹다, to eat. The stem is 먹, which gives us 먹기로 했어요. See how simple that is? It just works every single time. Let's move on and see how this all comes together in the real world. We'll cover a few key things to remember and then jump right into how you can start practicing immediately. So, just to recap the big ideas, this is for decisions that are already made, which is why you hear it all the time when people talk about their plans and resolutions. And hey, pay close attention to that last point on politeness levels. You're going to use 기로했어요 in most of your daily chats, but you'll want to switch to the more formal 기로하였습니다 for something like a business presentation or a very formal setting. Okay, here is your official call to action. The best way to learn any grammar is to make it personal. So why not make this your resolution? Go ahead, say it out loud with me. 올해에는 한국어 공부를 꾸준히 하기로 했어요. Make that decision right here, right now. And here's one final example just to lock it all in. Notice the subject here is we, 우리. This pattern works perfectly for group decisions too. 우리는 다음 달에 여행을 가기로 했어요. We decided to go on a trip next month. All right, there you have it. We've heard it, we've deconstructed it, we've seen how to build it. Now the power is in your hands. It is your turn to decide what you're going to do using this pattern. And I want to leave you with this. Always remember it. Watching and listening is great, but speaking is where the real magic happens. Your voice is the absolute key to mastering any language. So go ahead, decide on something, and say it out loud in Korean. You can totally do this.